think that men say that they want a modest woman, but they really don't, because you guys, the generation now has kind of shifted. Everyone was wanting that kind of modest, kind of old school relationship, right? Now social media is involved. People, do OnlyFans. Women do a lot of different things, and you guys pay for that. So it's kind of.
I don't pay for that.
Well,
I don't pay for that.
You might, but a large amount of men do. And
those guys are simps. But
so you guys kind of attract and like those things. So women have kind of shifted, like even like with BBLs and different things like that. Now it's not a thing. Now people don't like it, like men don't like it. So women are now getting it removed and different things. So we're kind of shifting with how you guys respond to what we're doing, because I don't think that we, like, when we were respected, when we were modest, like when we were doing, staying at home, cooking, like you guys didn't respect that. So now I feel like everything is changing, and now that we just want to be ourselves, whatever that may entail.
Wait, what?
yeah, it's kind of a false premise, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm
sorry. I just want to make sure that we're clear. You think that women are respected more now that more of them do sex work than before when they didn't do sex work?
No, I'm not saying that they're respected more, but I'm saying that men are eating that stuff up right now. And it is slowly going away, and we're slowly going back to kind of the modest. Now men, hey, you need to cover up. It's not, OnlyFans is not great anymore. Different things like that. I think you guys don't realize, like, you guys do change and things do shift with what you guys like as well. It does shift.
I want to mention something too. I think both races feed into, stuff like that.
Wait, both
genders?
I meant genders.
both races.
Both genders feed into that type of stuff because the guys buy it, they egg it on, and girls want to dress a certain way, to look a certain way for men, to get men's validations. I believe both genders just play a role in that.
We'll come right back to it.
Meet the Kaiser donated $200.
Yeah, thank you, Kaiser.
Wednesday was so bad, Brian brought only classy ladies on tonight. How am I going to roast this table later? Dude, I'll have to roast the guys. Eric, I'm from NJ2. The good part though, not Newark.
Not Newark.
You mean the soft part?
Yo, Kaiser, thank you, man. Nobody here does OnlyFans, correct?
No.
Or in the past?
No.
Never done OnlyFans?
Shout out to y'all.
Nobody? Okay, hey, no OnlyFans girls on the panel. There you go. All right. Did you have more? Did you want to respond?
I wanted to say
Andrew?
one more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also think that whatever women, like whatever they wear and put out, is the type of feedback in men of what they will get in return. If I'm posting, half naked pictures all the time, I'm going to probably get nastier men, if that makes sense. I feel like moderation and just, I feel like being more covered up is more sexier than just having everyone see what you already have. That's more of like a intimacy moment, more in the bedroom. More energy is put into the bedroom as well, instead of trying to get validation through different men, not even your own partner.
I will add, dressing more provocatively on Instagram, you attract more male followers rather than women, and like you were saying, if we're living more masculine than feminine because of the way we have to work and everything, we're going to want to maybe make money off of them, and we attract them.
I think that's I'm so sorry. I think that's a discipline thing where that's just fast money. It's easy money. I'm out here, a waitress and a barista, working 2 jobs, also going to school full time. I'm living, honestly, I'm completely satisfied with my life. I'm already okay with what I have. I think a lot of people, especially in today's today's society, I think people are just bored and they always want what's next, what's better, what's new, instead of trying to go through situations with your partner and like last forever,
Do you guys tip you more as a waitress?
They do, yes.
So it's kind of the same thing, like guys
100%
paying
yes.
on Instagram.
But I don't dress I don't dress a certain way. I work at a Mexican restaurant. It's a family restaurant. But I mean, I think that's just the way that men are biologically made. you're going to get tipped more if you're a pretty girl. If you're a handsome boy, girls are going to tip you more.
But I agree with everything you said, to be quite honest, because women cannot expect a traditional archetype of a man, what a man is, and not act like an archetype of a female in that balanced dynamic in a relationship. Exactly. So if that is what you desire, which I think it is, that's what you've expressed, that's the dynamic that you look forward to, I think it's completely valid to find a like-minded individual that honors that. But women cannot complain if they're going on Instagram tongues out and saying like, but why is nobody's taking care of me? My man isn't my savior, my money maker. It's not going to happen. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
What about the phenomenon of the chameleon? So the chameleon being a woman who did all of that for many years or something like this, then puts on the sundress and then expects also to get that archetype, which you're talking about, the traditional male masculine archetype. What are you guys' thoughts there?
Well, I had one other thought that I wanted to add to the previous statement, and we're all talking about what men like on a girl's Instagram or girls put on a girl's Instagram for men, but I think we're also neglecting what women put on Instagram for other women. So the amount of women, I am one of those girls who I get significant more validation if a girl comments on my post than what a guy comments on my post.
Glad you said that.
And there's a difference between, I think, posting like maybe slightly revealing, but through the female gaze versus male gaze. And I don't think men understand the female gaze versus the male gaze, but us girlies, I think we understand the female gaze versus the male gaze.
No, I'm glad you said that, because I think one of y'all was saying how women are dressing a certain way for the men, but like she said, they're not. A lot of women are dressing for other women, even like they say, well, I'm not, or they're dressing like that for themselves. Well, I'm not dressing like this for you. So it's like, a lot of men don't want that. Like you see a lot of interviews where they'll go on the street and they ask men, so what you like, weave or you like natural hair? 9 out of 10 times men are gonna say natural hair. But women think men want weave. Women think men want BBLs and all that. It's like they're not really listening to men, and the only men that they're listening to are men that's on television in these small sectors of these guys that are athletes where, they have the exuberant amounts of money, and they're thinking that those guys' appetite is the appetite of the everyday man, and it's not, and they conflate the two, because I feel like a lot of women are more in tune with mainstream perspective than real men's perspective. And like you said, women are dressing for other women. They're not even thinking about men, but they still want those men to honor them or look at them, but they're not taking into account men's perspective at all.
But to talk on that note as well, not every, you said, you compared us to lions, in a horde. And I would say not every single one of those lions wants to be hunted. And so it's hard for you guys to find who wants to be in a relationship. But some of us, if I were to break up with my partner, or he was to break up with me tomorrow, I wouldn't be out looking for a new one. That's just not my personality type. Mm-hmm. If you don't add anything to my life, then substantial, whether that's joy, laughter, whatever, I don't need you there. And I'm so fulfilled in my life outside of my relationship that I think for me a relationship can only add to it. And so sometimes girls, we get our nails done for other girls to compliment. We don't always get our nails done for a guy to compliment. They're not going to notice if you highlighted your hair. They're not going to notice if you got your nails done. Those tiny little things are for the girls, and a lot of women just are not interested.
And we know, and that's why men are acting the way they're acting. Because and another thing I think people don't understand, that this perspective of a lot of men are reflective of a certain age group. I'm 39, so when we speak, because I feel like there's my generation went through a specific experience as far as dealing with the opposite sex, and it gets even more nuanced when it comes to race. And we're dealing with women that are dealing with collateral damage of things that they really didn't have nothing to do with. Men had to go through that too. Like when I was younger, I'm tall, I'm dark skinned, I got a deep voice. So it's easy for me to deal with the collateral damage of people from my neighborhood or people that may look at me. And it's not fair, but it's reality. So women are dealing with collateral damage of previous generations and what they did or how they carried themselves. So a lot of young women are like, well, I didn't do that. They've grown up in a world where feminism has already taken place and control women and men. So a lot of y'all may not have ever done none of these things that we're talking about, because from the conversation, y'all seem like very classy women. Like I appreciate y'all mind, y'all cool. But a lot of y'all dealing with stuff that the older generation did. And the older men are saying we're not dealing with this anymore because we've seen women say one thing and do something else. And even when, like you said, when it comes to hunting, when you said hunting the lions, a lot of times it's not even about trying to get her to be your girlfriend. I've seen situations where women I think men and women don't know how to just be friends anymore. Like every time a man is talking to you, he's not trying to get your number. He's not trying to get, he just passing the time. Like if I go to a lounge or something, the music is whack, so it's not like nobody's dancing anymore. So I'm gonna talk. I've seen situations when I'll have a nice conversation with a woman, very classy, just real lighthearted. Hey, what you went to? Hey, what you like to eat? Oh, I went there. Just like her friend will come, oh, you don't know him. Why you talking to him? Get away from him. And she'll say, oh, don't worry about her. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want men to respect you, respect them and stop assuming every man that's talking to you is just trying to get into, you don't know what people are going through. Sometimes a man just to see a pretty woman, just want to have a conversation with her, just to boost his day, and he just go on about it. I know women, y'all went to clubs sometimes, the man just complimented you, gave you a drink, and you never seen him again for the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. Men, we do that. We're not just one track minded. We cool. We like to do stuff for you, but this mentality of women is just so off-putting that I think by the time they really start to talk to men, they're so turned off by not necessarily what they've done, but what their constituents have done.
I completely understand what you're saying. I think from that perspective, though, it's like you can talk to me however, and I'm perfectly okay talking to a man and it not being like a romantic situation or feeling threatened. But sometimes when we see our girls being talked to by a man, we don't know what the conversation is. We don't know what's going on between them, and maybe you get a little heady first because you're concerned for her, because you never know. You know, there is the whole man and the bear argument, and you just never know.
But that's, to me, that's a problem, because to me that's a side effect of the assumed mentality of today, that men are a threat to me.
I would like to add, I don't really think it's assumed, only because like as women, that's something like I could say probably every woman at this table has been through. So it's not really assumed, it's just like we genuinely have been through it ourselves. So it's like, it's not that we mean to be protective, but like it does happen. So like we should protect each other, you know?
But it's never what you do, it's how you do it.
But
like in other words, if I'm talking to my man, if my man is at the club, right, and he's talking to a woman and he looks comfortable, he don't seem, I'm not gonna say, hey bro, what are you doing? Get away from her. Like, that's weird. If you see your girl, if she's not being touched, this is a public setting. It's not like we're in someone's house. We're in a public setting, there's security guards, and she's talking to a man, laughing and being pleasurable, you can just come by and say, hey, what y'all talking about? Now to come with your guns blazing, that's something totally different.
Well, approach definitely matters.
Talking about cock blocking?
I want to say approach definitely matters, but I do think that like, that's something I would never, I was going to say I would never, if I think something's wrong, I would still say something, and I might not approach them like, what are you doing? Because I also don't know, like, you might be trying to date them. I'm not trying to screw you up either. But I do still feel like a girl should definitely go protect the other girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's how you do it. But the thing is, it's just assumed that something can go wrong.
Yeah.
Because if we're in the club, we sitting, there's space between us, I'm just talking to her, she talking to me, we grown. No one's being hurt. So just to assume that I have to come and save her, it's like I said, it's how you do it. Like the way y'all explained it, that's cool. Hey, I'm just checking on because some women say that, hey, I'm cool, I'm just checking on my friend, making sure she good. I understand, sweetheart. But some women come, who is this? Why are you talking to him? It's like, why you gotta talk like that?
See, I feel like, okay, this is gonna sound kind of mean. I feel like when women do that, it's usually because they're jealous of the other girl that they're talking to. I don't really think it's necessarily like they're protecting them. They're actually just jealous that their friend has a man.
Absolutely.
So
it's always, it's never what you do, it's how you do it. It's all about how you go about it.
Like attention.